Hello and welcome to Gone Exploring. Today we're doing a whale watching tour, and that's pretty much why we planned this whole trip to Cape Cod, for me to see a whale. Top on my bucket list. So it was about $62 each, and we also have to pay for parking. That's like 2 driveways down. That's $15. And here we are. And that is the boat we're going to be on. The Whale Watcher. I sure hope we see a whale. Our tour got canceled twice already. So hopefully third time's the charm. Because we had really bad weather. It was like gale force winds for the first like 4 days we were here. Super cold, but let's keep our fingers crossed.
Next up, this is a good time before you get aboard to remember everything that you forgot. So, on a day like today, layers. It's kind of clammy, balmy, foggy, but the temperature's all right here on land. Offshore, though, the ocean hasn't got the memo. It doesn't know we're going into summertime yet, and it'll be a good 10, 15 degrees cooler offshore and underway, guaranteed. So if you were thinking of bringing that extra sweatshirt, bring it. Can't hurt. You can always sit on it.
Some of these people definitely look underdressed.
Things like, you might not be thinking of, sunglasses and sunscreens. Sunglasses are one of the most important tools for whale watching. They do cut the glare, so you can see down into the water better.
Ooh.
And sunscreen, well, your option. They say we might get some sun in the afternoon. It's been trying. We just kind of felt like we couldn't sit on the dock anymore. We got a break. You've been here on the Cape, you know, it's been blowing hard for 3-4 days. And so we're going to go out and give it a shot.
Yay.
We've had some great sightings recently. What we'll find today, as I'll tell you, we don't know. The other thing we've got working against us right now is fog. Whale watching and fog are kind of, yeah, you get it. But the thing is, whales are big and they make an awful lot of noise, even when they're at the surface breathing, and you might not believe it, but we've done a lot of these whale watches by braille.
Wow.
You know, really, we're sitting and listening. We even use other senses, you know, smell and other things I won't get into. But bottom line is we have a pretty good success rate. It just takes patience. And you're going to need even more patience today, because we have 2 or 3 more days left in the speed restriction that we are adhering to because of federal mandates and regulations. We have a speed restriction in Cape Cod Bay to help protect the remaining 336 North Atlantic right whales. This is our most endangered species of great whale.
That's the big one, right?
With only 336 and only 90 of them being reproductive females, this species is teetering on the brink of extinction. Here in New England, they've been making a lot of headlines because of the conflicts of interest with them and the lobster industry. And I'll try and get into that. So we are going to be on a boat that has the potential to do 30 knots, and we're going to be doing about 10, 12 if we're lucky. All we can do is roll with it. If we're lucky enough, we may get some looks at these animals. Most of them have left Cape Cod Bay by this point, but we've been seeing them just a little north of the tip here that we'll talk about. I'm stealing my own thunder for later in the program, so I'll wait to tell you more about that. But I do just want to make sure that everyone understands we're going to be putting along. It's going to be a nice day. It's certainly not a beach day, so what else are you going to do? Come float around for a few hours, and we'll see what we can find out. Fog that's been rolling in and out working against us. One good thing we have today on our side is that the boat's barely a quarter full, so there's plenty of space to move around. And since there is space, and if things get exciting at some point, I do want you to remember this boat is made entirely of metal. The decks are painted with a non-skid surface, and if you run, you're going to bang into something and hurt yourself. So throughout the trip today, no running. And there's no need to, but no standing up on any of the benches or the railings or the tabletops or anything. 2 feet to the deck and 1 hand to the rail is a good way to go about a safe trip offshore. We're in an area called Stellwagen Bank National Marine Sanctuary. It's an underwater plateau that I'll speak more to a little bit later in our trip.
So I'm in the galley now because it is cold out there. We were sitting out front, and the wind, once we started doing a little speed, was so cold. But not a lot of people here today, so it's not too crowded. And it's foggy out. Can't see a whole lot. Oh well. So we've been out to sea for 2 hours now. The waters have gotten a little rough. They put out barf bags for us. I hope we see something soon. And the thing that scares me is we have to go back the same way we came. So I just had some Alka-Seltzer. Hopefully that'll settle my stomach some. But so it's been super cold out and kind of foggy. The waves have been kind of very much apparent, and saw a couple of seals, but that's about it. Everybody's pointing this way. I'm not seeing anything though.
Right here at around 1 o'clock, we just had a blow. About a couple hundred yards away, maybe 5 boat lengths. Waiting on a scene. If a watch right there coming straight toward us, we have a humpback whale.
Oh, gotta go outside.
Alright, so you have a big whale. If you're just making your way out to the railing, take your time. The whale's not at the surface now. It was coming toward us and heading toward about what would be now our 12 o'clock. Finback whales are the second, another blow. And these are humpbacks out at around 2. We did it, we found them. So right side of the boat, humpback whales. Left side, there will be a finback whale at some point. See the blows? 2 o'clock. Right side of the boat, 2 o'clock. So again, if you're just making your way out to the railing, a tail may be there. Yep, over there. That's right, at 1 o'clock. Right off the right side of the boat. The biggest individuals ever recorded were down in the Arctic area with one female. There we go. A humpback whale here at our 1 o'clock. So this is a humpback whale that's going to do a little feeding. So this humpback whale, not a finback whale, not the second largest animal, that was another species. This is a humpback. And it is feeding.
And it is feeding by taking its tail and slapping it at the surface and then going down and blowing a column or stream of bubbles. The bubbles are used to tighten and frighten the small schooling fish. See the bubbles coming up?
Yeah.
And coming up through there, at some point shortly, we should have a humpback whale. And there it is. And further out, other humpback whales lunging at the surface. They moved, but they didn't move too far, thank goodness.
Wow.
We're going to finish with the finback whale. We may see it again. It's going to be moving faster than these humpbacks. It'll look a lot like that minke, very streamlined, a sickle-shaped dorsal fin. See, I told you could hear those animals a long ways off.
There is.
I just heard another blow back somewhere toward our 4 o'clock. Minke whale out at around our 2. Good eyes. About 35 to 45 feet in length, putting them squarely the size of a school bus. And right back at around our 6. That humpback still at the surface. The captain's moving us up toward where we had a couple of other whales that fed at the surface. There's the blow of one of those animals, 1 o'clock. Make sure you're hanging on though, folks. Things do get exciting out here, but we need you to be safe. Might get a tail shot from that animal back at around 7. But at least it means no matter where you are on the boat right now, you should be able to see a whale. And there are a couple here at R1 with a tail shot going down. Maybe a tail. Look at that! Remember I told you they came up and took big gulps of fish in seawater? These 2 whales are working cooperatively together. They're not husband and wife, boyfriend or girlfriend. Enjoy for a minute. Tail shot camera's ready and click, 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 click. Second animal surfacing, coming up right 1 o'clock. Arch of the back, flick of the tail, down they go. Tail shot.
Yep, nice tail shot.
Big handsome white tail on that whale. Are sort of the fast food for these animals, and mothers with calves particularly like them because they can show their kids how to feed on schooling fish pretty effectively on something that's not faster than they are. Mackerel and herring are both pretty fast moving species and would give them a better bang for their buck calorically. But really the sand eels are what are what's cheap and often abundant in the springtime. When they're at the surface, you might have noticed their long side flippers. Out at around 11 o'clock, left side of the boat, 11 o'clock. See the pectoral flipper? Might get a tail here. Let's see. No. So you might have seen those side flippers without even noticing. Make sure you're hanging on as the captain turns the boat. These are the whales we started with. One little white fluke, maybe we'll let me know, but and Cape Cod is a great place to study whales. It's the skinny peninsula of land that sticks way out into a nature. So the captain moved us a little ways away from where these whales are, and I do have to tell you, we are at the point where we have to be making our way back in. But not before. We are going to try and do, since we got out here, we've been joined a bit to the south of us by one of the Provincetown boats, and they found a few whales. So we're going to try and swing by perhaps to see what they're looking at, and then we will have to start making our way in. Net. It's called bubble netting, and they really can only do this effectively on one prey species. Look at that! They're good. Very good at that. And that's the little sand eel. When I was walking around before, I told you that's their favorite food. Tail shot. Big handsome white tail on that one. See the pectoral? I've got a tail here. So you might have seen those side flippers without even noticing. Make sure you're hanging on it as the captain turns the boat. You get a tail shot coming up.
Nice.
Humpback whale is going to do a little feeding. So this humpback whale, not a finback whale, not the second largest animal, that was another species. This is a humpback. And it is feeding.
See, now the whale.
And it is
the-
feeding by taking its tail and slapping it at the surface and then going down and blowing a column or stream of bubbles. The bubbles are used to tighten and frighten the small schooling fish. See the bubbles coming up?
Yep.
And coming up through there, at some point shortly, we should have a humpback whale. And there it is. And further out, other humpback whales lunging at the surface. They moved, but they didn't move too far. Thank goodness. We're going to finish with the finback whale, because we may see it again. It's going to be moving faster than these humpbacks. It will look a lot like that minke, very streamlined, a sickle-shaped dorsal fin. See, I told you could hear those animals a long ways off. Just heard another blow back somewhere toward our 4 o'clock. Minke whale out at around our 2 good eyes. Tail shot. The whale just did a building on us. The second individual. See if it gives us a tail shot. Make sure you're hanging on though, folks. Things do get exciting out here. But we need you to be safe. Might get a tail shot from that animal back at around 7. But at least it means no matter where you are on the boat right now, you should be able to see the whale. And there are a couple here. And our one with a tail shot going down. Maybe a tail. Half a tail's better. You can see the seabirds are here. They're watching what's going on. The whales are feeding and probably bubbles are developing and I just don't see them. Because humpback whales are not the fastest whale species, because they can't use speed to just come through, surprise, and ambush their prey, they are strategists. And you got to see some of the strategies that they employ to feed on these small schooling fish. One is the use of bubbles, and humpback whales are famous for their use of bubbles. Huge gray seal here at 11 o'clock. Oh, and another is the big female gray seal here at 2. Gray seals in stereo. They're acting fairly bold because the water temperatures are still a little bit on the cold side for their only real predator here, which are great white sharks. Make sure you're hanging on here, folks. From time to time, as we're out here with the whales and the captain's moving the boat, you may hear me say, hang on, and when I do that, it's not a suggestion. I mean, there's bubbles, watch the birds, 1 o'clock. So, humpback whales use columns, curtains. Oh, look at that! Remember I told you they came up and took big gulps of fish in seawater? These two whales are working cooperatively together. They're not husband and wife, boyfriend or girlfriend. Statistically speaking, they're not brothers or sisters either. They're not related at all. There are a couple of whales that have found another has away for a minute. Tail shot camera's ready. Click. Second animal surfacing, coming up right on fire. Arch to the back, flick of the tail.
Beautiful.
Down they go. Watch on the head, the whales are feeding right here about our club. Looks like they have 3 individuals here.
Where is he? That's cool.
Bubbles on and around one. Hopefully a good show closer here. Is the bubbles forming? That's what we talked about before.
Wow.
One individual
Oh my God.
now all whales are big, but in the world
There's another boat. That one looks a lot more full. And that one is out of Provincetown.
whales, again, I said 35 to 45 feet about normal. Typically, the females are larger than the males because their calves are born at about 10 feet long, 2,000 pounds of weight. That's why the females are bigger. Gonna get a tail shot coming up. Only one tail there. Maybe these whales will see one more time before we gotta wrap it up and head in.
This bubble's right under us.
right next to us here at around 10.
Oh, man.
Yeah, we got bubbles being formed right under our boat. Huge open mouth right next to us. I hope you're there to see the baleen as the whale closes down. You can see those tubercles, the hair follicles we talked about. You can see where these animals get known as the big-winged New Englanders. That's one big humpback whale right there.
Whoa. Oh, there's another one up there. 2 more up there. Whoa. That was so awesome.
All right, in order to get back to Barnstable Harbor before tomorrow, we have got to get a move on. So, to start that process, maybe we can start with a round of applause for our captain for going the mile, for finding us these whales, keep us floating and all that stuff. And if you really appreciate our captain's work and are directly below me on the second deck, we're going to need to clear that area. Right now, not right now at the moment, you can watch these animals as they head down at around 10. Arch and a dive at 8 o'clock. Parting tail shot there.
Oh, boy, whales.
And thank you for helping us clear that area.
It came up right there. Oh, it was awesome.
And you have to.
Yeah.
If that doesn't sound good at all or nothing sounds, it's an awful feeling, but a temporary feeling. So yeah, probably half hour or so. See me come by with a bunch of armful of odd-looking stuff. I'll have some baleen, some models we can take a look at down in the main cabin. I'll be around all around the boat to answer any questions I can. But what a day! We really pulled a victory from the mouth of defeat there with this fog, and enjoy the ride as we head back in towards Barnstable Harbor.
Came up right here by me. I got some awesome footage.
That could have ended very badly.
What?
Like if we hit
Yeah. But I could see the bubbles coming up right here.
That's what I found. That's good.
It takes 10, 15 years just to get this smell out.
So for starters, we're having shrimp cocktail, which I ate some of already before I remembered to film. And we have a stuffed quail. Quay, not a quaalude.
No, it's not a quaalude.
Quailog.
Okay, I think they're it starts with a Q and it means a really big clam.
I'll put the spelling out right here.
Insert here.
Insert here. But I hear it's really, really good.
It's delicious.
We got shrimp piccata. Haven't tried it yet, but it looks delicious. And here we have seafood ravioli.
Yeah.
With lobster on top.
Okay.